In an age of football obsessed with specialists, one player is rewriting the rules by mastering every part of the game. He's got the silky touch of a number 10, the non-stop engine of a midfield general, and the killer instinct of a striker. He's not just a midfielder, he's the total midfielder. Jude Bellingham is right now one of the best players on the planet, but this didn't happen by accident. It wasn't a fluke. This is the story of how a kid from Birmingham became the most complete footballer in the world, and the blueprint for the entire next generation. So how did he get here? How does a player so young become the beating heart of the biggest club on earth? To really understand Jude Bellingham, you have to go back to where it all started. Not under the bright lights of the Santiago Bernabéu, but in the heart of England, at a club that saw the future so clearly, they made a decision that made the rest of the football world laugh out loud. The prodigy of St. Andrews, long before the record-breaking transfers and Champions League nights, there was Birmingham City. It was here, in the tough, grinding world of the English Championship, that the legend of Jude Bellingham was born. He joined the club's academy as a little kid, but it was obvious almost immediately that he was different. He made his debut for the under-23 team when he was just 15, and by 16 years and 38 days old, he became Birmingham City's youngest ever first-team player, smashing a record that had stood since 1970. But he wasn't just there to make up the numbers, he was a leader. In a single season, he played 44 games, taking on the brutal, relentless schedule of the championship with a maturity that just didn't make sense for his age. He played with a certain swagger, but it was backed up by pure substance. The talent was impossible to miss, but his character is what truly set him apart. The club even described him as having a caring, humble, and engaging personality that made him a role model, even as a teenager. So when he was sold to Borussia Dortmund in 2020, Birmingham City did something unprecedented, something that got them ridiculed by fans and pundits everywhere. They retired his number 22 shirt for a 17-year-old. After one full season, it sounded completely absurd, but the club's explanation was prophetic. They said it was to remember one of our own and to inspire others. They weren't just retiring a number, they were sending a message. They knew they hadn't just sold a good prospect, they had just unleashed a generational talent on the world. They saw the future, even if nobody else did. The Dortmund development engine moving to Borussia Dortmund for a reported £25 million wasn't a random choice. It was a calculated step. Dortmund had earned a reputation as Europe's ultimate finishing school for young, exciting talent, and Bellingham knew it. He picked the club for that exact reason, and it was here, wearing the famous black and yellow, that the raw prodigy from Birmingham was molded into a European powerhouse. This is where he leveled up 3 key skills that would define his career. First, leadership. In a locker room with veterans like Marco Reus and Mats Hummels, a teenager could easily get lost in the shuffle. Instead, Bellingham demanded the ball and demanded responsibility. By 19, he was captaining the team in a Champions League knockout game, which tells you everything you need to know about his presence. His coach, Edin Terzic, told him, "You don't need an armband to be a leader." And Jude lived that idea. He led by example with a work ethic that was second to none. Second, tactical versatility. At Dortmund, Bellingham became a human Swiss Army knife. He wasn't just a defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder. He was whatever the team needed, whenever they needed it. He'd start an attack from his own half, glide past defenders with power and grace, and then play the final killer pass. This is where he perfected the box-to-box role, mixing defensive grit with explosive attacks. His stats, like 13 assists and 6 goals in a single season, were great, but his real impact was so much bigger. And third, scoring under pressure. He didn't just pad his stats in easy games. He scored massive goals. He became a big game player who thrived when the pressure was highest. It was at Dortmund that the world got the first real taste of the goal-scoring machine he was about to become. He was sharpening his instincts, learning exactly when to crash the box, and developing the cool head needed to finish under the brightest lights. His time in Germany was a massive success, and he was even named the Bundesliga Player of the Season. He had shown up as a boy with incredible potential and left as a man ready to take over the world. The €103 million Real Madrid paid for him in 2023 wasn't a gamble, it was a coronation.
I just want to say thank you everyone in the room and everyone watching online for joining me for the proudest day of my life, the day where I joined the greatest football club in the history of the game.
The Galactico, the final form. The pressure at Real Madrid is like nowhere else. That iconic white shirt carries a weight that has crushed some of the most talented players in history. For Jude Bellingham, it felt like home. From the second he arrived, he didn't just play for Real Madrid, he became Real Madrid. His debut season was legendary. With Karim Benzema gone, manager Carlo Ancelotti switched up the formation and unleashed Bellingham in a more advanced role, almost like a ghost striker. The result? An absolute explosion. He scored 10 goals in his first 10 games, a start that not even Real Madrid legends could match. He ended his first season with a La Liga title, a Champions League trophy, and a stunning 23 goals in all competitions, even finishing as the club's top scorer in the league. People were floored. Spanish journalist Guillem Balague called him the best player in the world right now. His new manager, Xabi Alonso, who took over in 2025, calls him one of the most complete players in the world. But it's what's happening right now in his third season that really shows why he's the future. After undergoing shoulder surgery in July 2025 to fix a nagging injury, a lot of people wondered if he could get back to that same electric form. The surgery was a success, and after a slightly delayed start to the season, Bellingham returned with a new mission. Under Alonso, with a packed midfield full of stars like Arda Güler, his role is changing once again. Alonso has started using him in a deeper, more controlling position, sometimes as one of two holding midfielders, responsible for running the show from the heart of the pitch. This isn't a step back, it's an evolution. It's proof of just how complete he is. The goal isn't to limit his attacks, but to make him the ultimate game controller who influences every single play. His recent winning goal against Juventus in the Champions League, his first of the 2025-26 season, was the perfect example. It showed he can still make those game-breaking runs and score when it counts, even with more defensive duties on his plate. He's a hybrid now. He has the defensive grit of a deep-lying playmaker, the creativity of a number 10, and the goal-scoring hunger of a striker. He's a leader in a dressing room that has moved on from legends like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, and he's taken on that mantle at just 22 years old. He's the central nervous system of the team, the player the entire game plan is built around. The journey from a tough teenager at Birmingham to a global icon at Real Madrid has been incredible. Every single step was a calculated move, another brick in the wall of building the complete footballer. Birmingham saw the spark and they protected it. Dortmund took that spark and forged it into a weapon. And at Real Madrid, that weapon is changing what we all thought a midfielder could be. He has the vision of Zidane, the drive of Gerrard, and a knack for scoring goals that's all his own. He's a leader, a creator, a destroyer, and a match winner, all rolled into one. By combining the heart of a classic captain with the skills and intelligence of a modern superstar, Jude Bellingham isn't just a player for his generation. He's creating the blueprint for the next one. He isn't just the future of football, he is the future, happening right now, right before our eyes. What do you think makes Jude Bellingham so special? Is he the most complete player in the world today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching.